If you've ever been in a long-term relationship, you'll know that most of the time when couples fight, it's about something really stupid or generally insignificant in the grand scheme of things. I thought you said you clean the kitchen. You call this clean? Do you not like my friends? Because I feel like you never want to hang out with them. Now, I don't know about you, but I hate arguing. So to help Casey and I avoid as many arguments as possible, we adopted a relationship improvement technique based strongly in behavioral science. As you might have guessed by now, the technique is called the relationship contract. And I know that sounds pretty Sheldon Cooper. Bazinga! But Casey and I both agree that this has been one of the key reasons why our relationship has been as smooth and as happy as it has been. And by all accounts, it seems to be going pretty well. So in this video, we're going to talk about what the relationship contract actually is, what clever things are inside it, and finally we're going to analyze why I think it works from a behavioral scientist's point of view. Okay, so let's start with what it is. The relationship contract is a document developed by Logan Ury. She's a behavioral scientist that currently works as the director of relationship science at Hinge, and who is also the author of the book How to Not Die Alone, one of my favorite books on relationship science. Here's a clip of me talking to her on a live stream. What the relationship contract does is lay out in writing how you and your partner want to deal with many of the common topics that couples argue about. The idea being that if it's in writing and agreed upon by both people, then that eliminates any ambiguity or confusion in what is expected of the other person in the relationship. In other words, it makes sure you and your partner are literally on the same page. So now you have some background to it, let's talk about what you'll actually find in the relationship contract. The relationship contract covers many common topics of argument, like how much time do you want to spend together? What love languages make you feel loved? What is each person's definition of clean? And how often do you want the house to be in that state? As well as many others. But if you had to ask me and Casey what part of the relationship contract we thought was most useful, well, it turns out we'd both be on the same page. Okay, so darling, what parts of the relationship contract do you think have been the most beneficial for us?
I think the most important part of the relationship contract, was that the question you asked?
Yeah.
I think the most important part of the relationship contract is being able to discuss important things before they happen. For example, if I'm very stressed, I'm the kind of person who doesn't want people talking to me, and I don't want people to solve my problems. I just need time by myself and just to sort it out, and then I can talk to people when I'm ready. Whereas Pete is very much the opposite. He likes talking his problems out, spending time together. And so when we're in these high stress situations, now we know what's best for each other. Because for me, if I were to handle the situation how I would want it to be done, then that's like essentially the opposite of what Pete does. And so, yeah. Nice. And so, yeah.
So, from a behavioral science point of view, why does this work? For me, the relationship contract has been a great example of how to use hot and cold states to your advantage. In behavioral science, hot and cold states describe two broad forms of emotional being. It basically says that when you're in a hot state, you're either hungry or tired or angry. When you're in a cold state, you're much more well-rested, well-fed, and in general just able to think in a much clearer way. The beauty of the relationship contract is that both people sign the contract in cold states, which is a much more pleasant and successful way to iron out these very common problems than trying to do it while already in an argument. So in summary, the relationship contract has been a game changer for our relationship. It's helped us keep arguments to a minimum and systemized romance in a way that's allowed our relationship to deepen, grow, and flourish. So if you would like to try the relationship contract for yourself, check out the link in the description to Logan Ury's website where you can download it. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video or you learned something, can you please give me a thumbs up down below because it really helps me out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.